Meanwhile, as I could read this article, and of course you could see not guilty, I am outraged by this one. A judge has found 3 Chicago police officers not guilty of covering up details of the 2014 killing of Laquan McDonald, a black teenager. How can you not find these guys not guilty and then they did the covering up? Who the hell paid that judge off, first of all? I want to know. These cops did what they did. Former Detective David March, former Officer Joseph Walsh, and Officer Thomas Gaffney had been accused of falsifying police reports to protect Officer Jason Van Dyke, who was found guilty in October of second-degree murder in McDonald's death. So those 3 officers, they did cover up for Jason Van Dyke, saying, oh, well, Jason Van Dyke was in danger, this and that, and Laquan was coming after him with a knife, and that is full of crap. I don't believe any of it. But Cook County Associate Judge Demencia Stevenson said in her ruling the state had not proven beyond a reasonable doubt that the officers engaged in a conspiracy to prevent a criminal investigation. Now that is a lie. There was a whole bunch of evidence, and then the judge just took it upon herself and said, oh, some of it's is not relevant. Really? Stevenson's ruling came more than a month after the officers' 5-day bench trial ended. Each of the defendants had their own attorney. They said in their closing arguments the prosecutor's case is weak and that the prosecution had failed to meet the burden of proof and produce enough evidence to support allegations of a police conspiracy. Well, of course they had a lot of evidence, and then you got the nerve to call them weak. What the heck is going on with them? There was a video showing Laquan McDonald walking away from the officer Jason Van Dyke. Jason Van Dyke lied and said, oh, well, I was in danger for my life, so I had to shoot him. That was a lie. In her closing arguments last month, Special Prosecutor Patricia Brown Holmes said March, Walsh, and Gaffney gave the same accounts and details of the shooting in their reports, but that the details were contradicted by dash cam footage, according to CNN affiliate WLS. So the dash cam showed everything, but the judge ignored that and didn't want to see the truth. We are here because these officers and others tried to make the case against Van Dyke go away, Brown Holmes said, per WLS. Laquan McDonald was a human being. He deserved due process in the law and not to have police officers write false reports and shape a false narrative to justify his killing. And that is true. They made false reports. They made up stories that were not true. They did everything they could to cover it up. And yet the judge is finding them not guilty? Is she freaking serious? Police had said McDonald 17 lunged toward officers as he held a 4-inch knife. But dashcam video showed McDonald walking away from police with the knife. Other statements that said McDonald threatened Van Dyke with the knife were also lies. The indictment said, yes, Laquan McDonald was walking away. He was going towards a fence to get away from Jason Van Dyke. There was no coming after him, no nothing. So why is this judge getting away with it, and whoever's paying her off is telling her to lie about it? Seriously? Several police reports said 3 officers had been battered, which is false according to the indictment. Oh, now so the officers lied and said they were battered? Come on. Where's that evidence? I want to see this one now. Van Dyke was also found guilty last fall of 16 counts of aggravated battery with a firearm, one for each time he fired on 17-year-old McDonald. Well, yes, so tomorrow Van Dyke will be sentenced by another judge that they had nothing to do with the 3 Chicago police officers judge that they had today. So his judge is tomorrow, since he's already been found guilty of shooting Laquan McDonald. He will be sentenced on Friday. He faces between 4 and 20 years in prison for the second-degree murder conviction and would be eligible for probation according to prosecutors. The aggravated battery convictions carry a potential sentence of between 6 and 30 years with no probation. So, alright, so people are going to be protesting at that court tomorrow. They want to give him 96 years. And this is what they want. 6 and 30 years, not enough. 4 and 20 years, that's not enough. Make it life in prison. That's what he needs. And, Jason Van Dyke had no right shooting at Laquan McDonald when he knows doggone well he was not in danger of any kind. As soon as Laquan saw Jason Van Dyke, he walked away from Jason Van Dyke. There was no coming at him with a knife. There was none of that. It was walking away from the officer to a fence that was over towards the right. That's where he was going. He wasn't trying to hurt nobody, and the video showed otherwise. Anyways, I'm out.